Hey guys, Rich from Rich's Mowers and Blowers. Psh, what do we got? What are we looking at? So this is a mower that they are cleaning out Grandpa's garage, and they believe it's been sitting around for about 10 years in the garage. So I'm just going by their word. Is a Craftsman 5.5 horsepower Techumseh engine. It's 22-inch cut. It looks like it's missing the top like little grate thing that goes over there to stop things from going in there, because you don't want your phalanges going in there. Looks like it has some kind of a oil leak thing going on there. What else we got? The tires don't look bad. They look like they got a lot of tread on all of them. So let's take a look at the gas. That looks empty, which is a good sign if it's been sitting around. This has the speed control on it. Primer seems to work. Filter looks okay. Doesn't look too dirty. The machine itself has dirt all over it. Everything seems to be solid. Spark plug looks good. From there, let's check this oil. See how Grandpa did on that. It's got a little bit of oil in it. So it's at the add mark. So I was rolling around in the back of my truck. Let's just check it again and see if it settled down already. I believe it did. So it's right at the add mark. Not awful dark and black, but it is black gold Texas tea. It looks like it came from Sears. See what we got here for some model numbers. 917.387150. So that's what we got there. Does have a rear bagger thing on it, which is made out of metal instead of plastic. Handles, I guess I can fold those up now. Tighten those up so they don't fall over. Alright, so what's next? We'll see if it pulls over. I can see it moving as I pull the handle there, so something's moving on the top. So this looks like it could be bent a little bit. Other than that, spark plug. That nice coil they put in them back in the day. I like that. Alright, let me tighten up that handle, and we will see if it pulls over. Look at the rubber things aren't missing on the front or the back. Doesn't look too beat up, a little rusty on the front. Paint coming off. Give her a nice bath here in a minute. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, we got these tightened up. I'm not sure what Grandpa's doing with that. I don't know if it was to hold that down, maybe. Could have been. Grandpa was cheating the system there, so he didn't have to hold it down, I'm guessing. Here is another tag on the side, so I don't see any kind of date on it that I can read. you guys know what any of that information is and how to read it, put it in the comments. Alright, so we are going to pull it over, see if it even pulls over. So it's pulling over. I guess the next thing to do, it has oil in it, or at least enough to run for a few seconds. Next trick is to throw a little starting fluid in it. So I'm going to take their word for it that it hasn't ran for like 10 years or something like that. So I'm going to use a little 2-cycle gas, which has some oil in it, so it'll lubricate it a little bit while we try to do the little starting. We have a non-starter, so let's go ahead and check the spark plug out. So before we check the spark plug out, I noticed that was bent right there, so I bent it back. Let's go ahead and try it out now. Ooh, it sounded like it has something going on in there. So that could have been bent and the brake wasn't coming all the way off with the kill switch grounding it out. So now that it's a little straighter, it sounds like it's gonna work. Let's get a little more fluid in it and see if it'll pop off. There we go. So that was the problem right there. So this was bent out, not allowing the cable to be pulled enough. So that could bend pretty easily. Just kind of bend it back like that. Looks pretty straight, and it's enough to get that to release and take that brake off a little more, and then take the ground off a little more, so it will pop over. Alright, that's a good sign. But let's go ahead and take the spark plug out and see what that looks like after all these years. Maybe clean it up, because we know it's getting spark and it will start, so let's get that out. Got it loosened up off. Let's get this out, see what it looks like. How'd Grandpa do on that? It looks a little dark, but it was working, so it did make it pop off. So we'll take that to the wire wheel, get that all nice and shiny again. So here is what we are doing. Just attaching one of these to your drill, and we are going to just run it on there like that, and it'll start to clean all that off. See if it'll clean off some of that rust. Yeah, a little bit. Alright, let me get this all prettied up. Well, there we go. Looks a lot better than what it did. So we'll put that back in there. Now, I just wonder, did Grandpa drain that gas out, or run the gas out, before he put it in the garage? If he did, we might be able to just pour some gas in there and it might fire up without even cleaning the carburetor. That would be awesome, Grandpa. So let's see if Grandpa did that. I'll get a little bit of gas just in case if we have to drain it out. I'll put some in there. Go ahead and put some gas in it. Just a little bit, just enough to tickle it. Push that primer a few times, which is in good shape. It's not all dry and hard and crusty. Well, let's get a little go-go juice in there. See if we can jump start it off. Well, it started up. There doesn't seem to be a choke. Cold start, prime, push 5 times. Alright, it's about 15 times. But it doesn't say, it doesn't have a like start, then a run, any of that stuff on it. Put a little more go-go juice in it. So we already primed it with the 2 cycle. Now we're switching over to some starter fluid. Nope, looks like that's about it. So we are going to probably have to do a carb clean. That's why you don't put too much gas in it. So we have to take that off. Alright, so it looks like we have to do a little bit of investigating of the carburetor. So what we're going to do is to remove the bowl, and let's see what's inside there. So to remove the bowl, you need probably a 13 millimeter. It's usually the nut on the bottom side of the bowl. Gonna need some cloth because it's probably gonna leak out some gas. You can either pinch off your gas line, or if you have a shut-off valve. Hey, that's pretty petrified there. Might have to change that out, get a new hose on there, gas line. But anyways, sidetracked. Squirrel. The nut on the bottom of here, we're going to take off and pinch off your gas line. If you have a shut-off valve, shut off your gas. Or I didn't put very much gas in it, so I'm just going to try to like tilt it backwards so that it doesn't have the flow, gravity flow of the gas to the bowl. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, we got our jack stand up there, and let's look and see if the gas is tilted backwards. It looks like it is tilted backwards. You probably can't see down in there, but trust me, I can. Taking our 13 millimeter, we are going to take the nut off the bottom. And I've already loosened up the nut, so should be able to unscrew it here. And you can see you're going to lose some petrol. So we know the bowl is filling up. smells like fresh gas, because remember there was no gas in the tank itself. Alright, so here is what you're going to have. This is a bowl nut and jet in one. See that little hole there? That is your jet. And then it's going to suck the gas up through that hole, up through the middle of the carb into the engine. Now we can look and see, or at least I'm going to look and see if I can see through the hole. I can see through the bottom hole. It's probably useless to show you, but maybe you can see through it. The top you can't see through because it's just a small hole anyways. So I'm gonna go and take a little piece of wire, and you can use like a bread tie, something like that, and poke it through the holes. So let's go do that. So there is my lawnmower jacked up. So you just put it on a jack stand like that. Keep that gas away from running into the bowl. And once you have your bowl nut off, and I can see through it, so you're going to take your wire and go right through the center of that. And then we're going to go down through the center here. That is what we are going to do. So it is looking free. So what we can do now, we know it starts on starter fluid. We know it shuts off. We see that fresh gas is getting into the bowl. And we've just cleaned out this jet that's attached to the bowl nut, and I can see all the way through the holes now. So I'm going to put this back on, and we are going to try to start it and see if it will stay running. Alright, so I dropped it back down, put the nut back on it, put a little squirt of starter fluid in it to give it that jump start. Let's start it up. So, seemed to be we didn't even have to take off the whole carburetor. We just had to unplug the bowl nut jet. Let's try it again. Come on, Betsy. So that was, what, about 5 pulls, I think it was, and without pressing the primer. So let's try it again. First pull that time. Let's try it again. So we got it on the first pull. That is a good solution we could try, is to clean off the nut bowl jet. I like to say that. Nut bowl jet, nut bowl jet, nut bowl jet. Let me throw that jack back on there like that, and let's look underneath why we got it propped up now. We never did look underneath it. Now, he did keep it in the garage, so that's probably what saved this for Grandpa, is that it was kept inside the garage. The blade has probably seen better days, but I'm sure Grandpa probably sharpened his own blade, I would say. Still has the points on there for the lift. So the blade's not too bad. Not too bad of shape. The deck looks pretty clean underneath there. A little bit of buildup. So I think we ended up with a winner chicken dinner. So the wheels are a little wobbly. Maybe we can address that at some point here. Alright, let's put her back down like that and see if it'll start up on its own without primer. And it did. Second pull with no primer. Grandpa's riding a little low there. You see how low it cut on there, on the back there. So we do have to raise that up. It's a little low there, Grandpa. He liked it short. So let's go over and see if we can wash this up a bit. It does still need oil in it. Well, put it back up on the jack stands, and that tire is not budging for the height. So it's probably rusted. Let's go ahead and try this one over here. Nope, it's rusted. Not to moving. So let's go ahead and spray some WD-40 on these. Let it set for 287 days. We'll get back at you. So the back ones did move. The front ones are not moving. Put some WD-40 on it. So overall, I think we've picked up a winner. So we have it soaking down with my special sauce. Alright, so it's been a couple days. I just went to pull it over and no start. So let's go ahead and take the bowl off again. Let's just see what happened. See why it's not starting after it sets. So you need a 13mm to take that nut off underneath the bowl right there. Not sure if we can see it. There it is. And we will see what's going on. So we got the nut off, and this is a jet that sucks gas up through this hole right there. The hole is nice and clean, so you can see all the way through it. Now there is one in the middle that's a little bit smaller, so I don't know if I can see through it or not. We will take a piece of wire again and poke down through there. See what comes out. And I didn't notice anything that was hindering any of the holes. So let's go ahead and take this bowl off, and it should just come right off like that. See what's in there. Oh, nice. We should have did that in the first place. So you can see kind of some crap down in there. So it looks like we're going to take the carburetor off. So there's 2 bolts, and looks like this top one, you have to take that off. Maybe, maybe not. We will get back at you. So it was easier just to loosen it from the intake because I couldn't reach the back bolt. But look at all that dirt back there behind there. Once we unhook that linkage, then that'll be free. Alright, so here we go. So the main thing I wanted to look at was the seat, the needle in the seat. So you take out this pin right here, take that pin out, and the needle will come out. So this one has seen better days. So we got that out, and look at just all the crud on it. So obviously it's gonna need some good cleaning. It will need a new rubber gasket around there. It's all broken. I don't know what all that crud is. That's not supposed to be there. Well, it's rained since I've been messing around with this one, and the bowl is definitely leaking. So we got the bowl off with the 13mm and went ahead and took this off just with the number 3, and the whole thing come right off. So we're gonna clean that gasket up, clean that bowl up around the rim there, put a new gasket on there, and put it back in there. So it's just coming off just like that. You pull that off, put your new one on, clean that up a little bit around there, and clean the inside of this up just with a little wire brush and spray it off. So here is your Techumsehs, and here is the old one. So you can see how cracked up and bad it is. These came off of eBay. Well, there is your new gasket on there to seal that bowl off so it will quit leaking. So let's put it back together. Well, there you have it, folks. So another one down. So what we did was we took the bowl off, bowl nut, cleaned it, took the carburetor off, all the way off, cleaned that out. We took and seen that the gasket here is kind of chewed up a little bit. You know, it's just old, whatever. And it seems to not want to start. So let's go ahead and just try it again here. Give it some primer, and we will pump it up. Let's see. Let's try it. All right, everything is ready to rock and roll. Get them and move them out. That's what we do. Hey, thanks for watching Rich's Mowers and Blowers. Psh. And then check out my other videos. Hit that subscribe button. Get notified every time there is a new video if you hit that bell icon. So, hey, and we'll see you at the auctions. So check those videos out.